Hey, happy Friday. I didn't do one of these yesterday because I'm doing like a podcast with Alex. You might have seen us upload a YouTube video on my channel earlier. But we're going to try to talk weekly about something. So that's why I didn't do a daily yesterday. So I let that take the place. But I need to stay on it. I was very tempted today to be like, this is my weekend. And while that is important, I recognize this pattern in myself that is way too easy to keep going. And this is about the time when I start doing it. So this is like daily number 12 with a couple days in between. So that's like right around 2 weeks of doing this thing. 2 weeks is like when it's easy for me to drop off of a habit. Because the first week is like building momentum. The second week is riding that momentum. And then by the end of that, you start having days where you're like, well, that was fun. You know, like, I did the thing. You can feel good about yourself and the work you did, and but then it also starts feeling like a lot. And it's right around here where I'll start to have days where I'm like, I don't have an easy idea. I don't know what to talk about today. I literally just don't know what to talk about. There's so much to talk about, but I don't know what to choose. But that's the reason that I did these videos, is because, or that's the reason I was trying to do these videos daily, is really to practice choosing what to talk about. And it's funny because you'd think there's always a part of you that's like deceiving you with the opposite. You'd think you might run out of things to talk about. That's what I kind of used to be afraid of. Like, I am going to run out, so let me not overdo this thing. But the fact is actually the opposite. I have too many things to talk about. And so choosing one feels like I'm ignoring all the rest. And that is the trap that so ironically leads to you telling yourself the opposite. I have way too many things. And so somehow I fear not having enough. That doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense unless you like really step back and you see that the fear I created actually balances out the other fear. Like, my mind created the opposite fear kind of as a deception. Like, so I wouldn't have to think about the real fear. The real fear being that I am not going to choose correctly. That today, I'm going to choose the wrong thing to talk about. So better to not do it. That's the real fear. Is choosing wrong. So I made up the story. You're going to run out of things. There's not enough things to talk about, so you should probably space out your videos, wait for tomorrow. Interesting. And here's the thing, is that I didn't realize that until I was talking just now. This is like a 4-minute video. And in those 4 minutes of me actually doing the thing and not listening to either lie, that I realized the lie. I recognize what's going on. So, action, here's what I believe. I believe action is the best antidote to our self-deceptions, which are most of the time going to happen in the mind. Our mind likes to keep us in the mind for some reason, and I think that's when it's unintegrated. When I say the mind likes to do that, I say that we, like me, myself, when I am fearful for any reason, that as an avoidance tactic, I will keep my mind detached from my body, and I will choose one to live in. So I will either live in my body unaware, like I'll just be in my body without thinking, without being connected to it, or I'll be in my mind without acting. And the goal is always thinking in an embodied way, like expressing your thoughts, or doing in a mindful way. Both of those involve both the body and the mind, and that's not taking into consideration spirit or heart, but it's just the body-mind's dichotomy. We need to integrate them always, even if that means you're not doing anything, like in meditation or something. That's still, meditation should still be embodied. It shouldn't be only in your mind. Like meditation would require like a truly relaxed body or a truly present body in order to feel free to healthily explore your mind. A lot of times your body has to be engaged even if it's not doing something, okay? Like you always need to be in both. Even when you're sleeping and it seems like your mind goes off to another world, well, it's because you've entrusted your body to go do the thing that it needs to be doing. Sleeping is different than not engaging the body, because sleeping is a correct engagement of the rest function of the body, okay? Unintegrated, you'll end up doing the wrong thing, like oversleeping or napping when really you need, like lying around when really you needed to move, or continuing to move when really you need rest, or like eating the thing that you don't actually need to be eating, or drinking the thing that you don't actually need to be drinking, overindulgence or underindulgence of, avoid. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can like misuse either your body or misuse your mind. I really believe that, but you're gonna misuse them less if they're cooperating with each other, okay? So I guess that's the message I end up at today. I had no idea what I wanted to talk about, but I had to just do the thing, and I found something worth talking about, so that's cool. That's my encouragement for you today. Just do the thing. Just do something. You're very rarely, honestly, in life, are you going to make the wrong choice if you're making a choice. And what's great is if you're making a choice and you make the wrong choice, you can just correct it. But you can't, in some ways, making the wrong choice is better than making no choice at all, because at least it's active. It's not a passive process. And so you are going to engage yourself. And that means you're going to be present, and that means you can learn. And there are so many choices, honestly, in the world. Like, I believe this. I believe there are more right choices than there are wrong choices. So if you just choose to act, more often than not, you're going to be right. You're going to make a good choice. The more you just don't act, the more you just don't, then the more pressure you create in yourself to act, like an unhelpful pressure. And then when you do act, you're actually more likely to make the wrong choice. So keep deciding. And I'd like to make a video later about ways to decide things, because that can be an intuitive flow state type of process, or it can be a very like deliberate pros and cons. Here's my system of deciding type of thing. There's so many different ways to choose anything, but at the end of the day, I think it's important to choose. So to choose and to act, to live on your own accord. Okay, that's all I have to say.